Hello and welcome to the Master's Table. Thank you for joining us today. I say this every time, but we have got a really great dish for you today. Stay around and Frankie's going to tell you what it is.
Just an old school favorite today. This is old. This is going to take you back to the schoolyard days almost. This is a homemade cheesy. I'm gonna say how I can say this right. Cheesy noodle. Beef. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Cheesy
Hamburger helper.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like the box kind. This is gonna be this is the homemade. This is the real deal style right here. Just like I said, this take you back to school. But we got a bunch of simple ingredients. This is really good when you make this at home and use your own stuff, your own ingredients. So we just got. I covered up because I just got it out of the refrigerator a while ago. Done a little prep. We got an onion, got a green pepper. We got some sun-dried tomatoes and just some ketchup, just stuff that you already have and you covered it. That's what I like about these dishes.
Say, stuff that you probably already
noodles
have.
And all that good stuff.
Yep.
But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna want to save this one. So get your pen and paper and listen to us as we talk you through this. Yep. We're gonna talk about what we're putting in it and show you how you can make this at home, and you'll have it ready in front of your family in just a few minutes.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Before we get started cooking this dish, let me just say, this is the best little gadget you'll ever get.
Handy dandy thing, right?
It's a handy dandy meat stomper, grinder, whatever you want to call it.
Chopper, beater.
Go out and get you one. It makes it a lot easier to get ground beef and turkey and all that going in the skillet.
Yep.
When you got one. I love it. I love it. And it's very cheap.
Yep, you can go get it for, I used to go get it for $1, if you know what I'm talking about, but now it's cost you $1.25.
Yeah.
But you can, they're available, and they're just as good as the one that costs $15 online.
Yep.
So
it's a great gadget.
Works.
You need to get one.
That's a little pro tip right there, right, Miss Cleveland?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Yep, go ahead.
What we doing?
Well, I'm making a mess right here right now. I was just going ahead and peeling some of this garlic. You know I love fresh garlic. Go ahead and if you got that turned up, we'll let that come on up to 10. We went ahead just to save just a little bit of time. I'll tell you what we done. Good old-fashioned butter, because butter makes everything. Don't even say it. It makes it better. Tina says bigger, but butter makes everything better. So we started with just a couple of I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter, just to grease up the pan a little bit. And we dropped the ground beef. The recipe calls for a pound. That's a little bit more than a pound, because that's a big skillet and I wanted to fill up the bottom. But, measure with your heart when you drop this ground beef. If you buy that big pack, if you cook them for a lot, just add. All you have to do, this is a dump and go recipe, and all you have to worry about doing is getting that meat started, and then you can adjust these for what you like in this pan. But if you follow by the recipe, it calls for a pound of ground beef. So I'm gonna let Miss Tina keep chopping that and getting it going. Actually, it's heated up pretty good and it's on its way. So what we'll do, we'll get ready to go ahead and start incorporating some of these other ingredients in there. Like I say, this is a dump and go. And y'all know what I always tell you. To simplify these recipes and make this easy, it takes you maybe 15 minutes on the front end. But if you'll go ahead and, like I've said it every time, if you'll stage your ingredients in the order you want to drop them, you start with your meat, whatever you're going to do over there. And once that starts, then you just start dumping.
Yeah, so that's a lot of onions.
I'm not going to put all these in there. We're just going to start.
I was going to say, your kids will love this dish, but I don't know if they'll like all those onions.
No, but that's what I was just saying a while ago. I said, it's according to how big of a pot of this you're going to make. If you add a little bit more meat, if you had a little bit more meat in that, you may want to add all these onions. And it calls for 1 onion, but sometimes we go to the grocery store and the onion might be that size. Yep. And sometimes the onion might be as big as that. And that was a big onion. That was
a big onion.
So we just want to go ahead and drop that. And we're going to go ahead, same thing with the bell pepper. See, that was a pretty good sized bell pepper.
Yeah.
So we're just going to look and measure, use the recipe as a guide, measure with your heart when you.
My mother never used a recipe for anything.
Well, and this
I might could cook like that.
And this is one of those recipes. What'd you just say?
I might cook.
You might cook. Yeah,
I
don't know.
Cook if I didn't have to look at a recipe.
There's hope in all things, right?
You want to.
There's hope in all things. But like I said, this is one of those recipes when you're putting this together. You may not like green pepper. Your kids may they may not want any green pepper. So if they don't put any green pepper in there. Same thing with the onions. But I just make it. This is the way I like it. And if you just adjust it the way you like it. But this is what the recipe calls for. It calls for a bell pepper, an onion, and we're gonna go ahead and start dropping some seasoning. Is that on? Yeah, that's starting.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, I hear it. This is, I put a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of salt. I just put it, Dr. Morell, I just put a pinch of salt. I didn't put a whole lot of salt, and I got some black pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this. It looks like a lot, but that's a lot of meat. And it's mostly onion powder and garlic powder right there. That's what that is.
So you got onions and onion powder.
Yeah, onion powder. Yeah, it's just, we're just building flavor. You just keep on stirring, and we're gonna build some flavor along the way. And you know, if you wanted to, you could use this all-purpose, and you know, so you might use this one up. But this is the regular all-purpose. Now, you could dump this. You could put a couple tablespoons of this, and it's the same thing as what I just done. Instead of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bottles, you can have a one-shot bottle in there, and you don't even have to buy mine. There's many different all-purposes, but I'm just going to tell you, buy one that's a low sodium, don't have a whole lot of salt. You can sprinkle as much salt as you want in there after the fact, or anybody else can. But we also have the one with the red pepper in it. See, the only difference in that, team, this has got a little bit of red pepper.
Yeah, we're not putting that in there.
See, just the red pepper on the top, but that's what I'm saying. You see the red pepper?
I thought you were fixing to dump it in there.
You don't want no red pepper in it? Okay. We won't put no red pepper just because you're going to eat this one. But anyway, see, that we just want to bring that up. Like I say, we're just building flavor right now. Building flavor. Now, as that continues to cook, we're going to get ready to drop these sun-dried tomatoes and some garlic in next. And that's what I was doing a while ago, was peeling some garlic. And you know, I'm all about this thing right here. And I like this one. I like this one. I got this one at the big box store. I actually like this one better, and it was cheaper than the one I bought in a more of expensive brand or whatever.
That's always the way it is.
But look, this one works. Look, one push, it crushes it. Next push, it cleans it out. So I'm all about that. And I like that. It's something gratifying about crushing garlic.
I told you what you need to do about that.
What?
You need to go see about that. See why you do that.
Tina, why I got to go see about it? You just keep stirring.
Same reason Marley walks so slow to her dish.
I know. We laugh about our little dog. Every time she gets ready to eat, we put her food down, she creeps up on it. She creeps up real slow, and then when she gets there, she eats real fast. It's funny. We laugh about that.
Our daughter is in school wants to be a psychologist, and I told her she's got a good family to start with.
Our family.
To practice on.
That's exactly right. Now, as that continues to cook, Miss Cleo, we're going to put just a little, let me get me something right here to get some of that. We're going to get just a little, just about a good tablespoon. I'm going to take that off right there. This is just beef bouillon. You can use some powder if you had some kind of powder, and I'm going to probably put just a little bit of broth in it, but that's just a little bit of beef bouillon. This is just to give it a little bit more rich flavor. Like I say, that's all we're doing, just adding a little bit of flavor as we move along. And what you think, Miss Cleo?
It's coming along.
It's doing good already.
Yeah.
Now what we do is you get this like semi-done, 99.9% of the done, and then we're gonna top this with cheese and some other good stuff, and then put it in the oven. You could even put some bacon on top of it if you want to, and if we have time, we might fry up some bacon, put on. If not, the cheese and the bacon is according to what you want on top of it, and it's very optional. So we'll just we'll leave that there with that. Just according, I guess, according to how fat you want to make it, right? You want to leave the bacon and the cheese cut back.
I hate to tell you that we're past that point.
Not really. That's that was, I think that was 88.12 ground beef, so it's not got a whole lot of fat in it, maybe.
Now you can use turkey.
Yeah, you could ground.
Want to use turkey,
you could use the sky's limit. You could use ground turkey. You could even use ground chicken if you wanted to, or you know, any kind of meat. Or your hunters out there, I know y'all got some deer meat in the freezer. You could thaw out some of that ground venison. Yeah, Greg, we was talking about that the other night after church. You could drop you some ground deer in there, and you'd have to put some fat in there to make it look like that. But see, that's coming good. That's doing really well. So we're going to continue to let that come together. Now I'm gonna go ahead and drop. This is 3 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. This right here just gonna give it a little bit more richness, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more pop. What I'm gonna say. So I'm just gonna dump that thing and just keep on mixing. And I like the sun-dried tomatoes. I went a long time and I didn't use many of them. But once I started using them, I really like sun-dried tomatoes.
You make your own sun-dried tomatoes?
Yeah, you can. All you do is they're packed in olive oil, and there's actually even some other ones that are actually Dried is just dried. You can, I mean, yeah, you could do them. You can do them yourself.
I just wondered if you had them.
Turn that down just a touch.
Growing on the vine, if you could.
You could dry them and do. Yeah. You could absolutely.
Like in a.
Because you know what? These right here in this jar. At once upon a time, you know where they were? On the vine.
But like a, what's those things called that they make beef jerky and all in?
No, I keep wanting to say dehumidifier, but yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Dehydrator.
Dehydrator.
Yeah, dehydrator. You're gonna have a big dehumidifier sitting there. Y'all pray for her. Lord have mercy.
You said it.
Y'all see what I had to put up with?
But
you thought it. See, I say what you're thinking. So.
Oh my gosh, you see how it is.
Yep, I know. I said, I tell you, I
you ain't no better than I am.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Lord have mercy.
You're gonna get a humidifier.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
And make some sun-dried tomatoes.
No, a dehumidifier.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm measuring my heart right here. We're gonna call that 2 tablespoons.
That ought to be a little.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So I don't remember that. That's about 2 tablespoons of just regular old tomato paste. Like I say, we just continue to add and build flavor. Now we got to that point. I didn't want to put my garlic in too soon, but I don't like it to burn up. But we're gonna go ahead and there it goes. Go ahead and drop these other ones, and then I'll let you get that off the bottom, Miss Cleveland. This is just some fresh garlic, and you could use garlic paste if you wanted to. You could use the garlic that's already in the jar. I call it jarlic. You could use jarlic if you wanted to. Any kind of garlic. You could use a little bit of extra garlic powder if you didn't have any fresh garlic if you want. But it's just something about the fresh stuff.
It really does smell good.
It gives, and the thing about that, the garlic, you don't want to drop it in there too quick and then it burn and just nothing. When you start smelling that, and when it starts getting fragrant, it's done its thing. It's done added that flavor. So I'm gonna give you just about 30 more seconds on that, and we're just gonna continue to dump some stuff in here. But I've been really thankful for today because this has been a good day. You know, and I thought about it when I woke up this morning, and I tell people all the time, never forget to thank God every day that you have a chance to wake up. Because I'm also reminded, being a pastor of a church, I'm also always reminded that everybody don't have that opportunity. I talk to people all the time that can't get up, and I think about the ones that woke up and couldn't get up. So we should be thankful and rejoice in the Lord that we was able to get up and clothed and in our right mind. And I know that's a little bit debatable sometimes, but you know, we should be very thankful all the time for everything that God's blessed us with.
Yeah.
You know, I thank God for Him for another day. What my old pastor used to say is that I'm walking in a day I've never seen before and one I won't ever see again, but I'm glad to be in it. So it's a good day in the Lord today. Now, Miss Cleveland, what you think over there? You about ready to do some more ingredients in that, or you just gonna keep on stirring?
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever I want to do.
Whatever you say.
All right. Well, let's see. Yes, I think we're at a point.
I think it is.
Does your ground beef look brown enough? You think it's about done?
Probably.
About to get there, because see, this is gonna cook in the oven.
Yeah.
I've got the oven going over here at 400 degrees, and so we're going.
This is another one of those dishes you could make it at night.
So we're gonna have this thing preheated.
Put it in there and have it the next day.
Yep.
I'm all about not having to be in the kitchen no longer than you have to.
Yeah, I know that's right. But this refrigerates well. This heats up well. So this is just all around easy. You can make a big pot of this, and your kids can eat on this for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. But they're probably gonna eat all this up at once.
They might.
All right. So now let's come on with some more ingredients, Miss Cleveland. We're gonna come with about. We're gonna say about a tablespoon. Get one right there of Dijon mustard. That gives it that little bite, that little kick. We're gonna come in with about a good tablespoon of what's your sister's sauce, W sauce, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
Worst word in the world, sauce. All right, now we're gonna come and wipe this off, and I'm gonna use this again.
I want to say thank you to those people that watch this show. We've gotten several. Well, we've got a good many emails and texts and people wanting recipes and saying that they enjoyed the show. So thank you very much. That's a big encouragement to us, and we appreciate
your support. We sure do. 1 cup of your favorite ketchup. And my favorite ketchup is the one that's always on sale. I look to see which one's the cheapest because they all taste the same. Well,
no,
about
they
the
don't.
same.
No, they don't.
Some better than others, Miss Cleveland?
Yep,
Okay.
they sure are.
All right. Well, like I said, most of the time I get what's on sale, so just keep on mixing. That's a cup of ketchup. Like I say, see how simple this is. This comes together quick, and we have a whole lot. The thing about it, you can have a whole lot of fun in the kitchen, laughing and cutting up, and and cooking and getting something ready at the same time, Miss Cleveland. Bring it back up to about a medium because we're gonna want to melt that in there really good. So see, we done got all the ingredients we need to put in there. We're just gonna top it up with some cheese, and we're gonna put the secret ingredient. I'm just kidding. Let that cook just a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna add some good old noodles in there. Buy your favorite kind. This is just some regular elbow noodles. I went ahead and pre-cooked these. Cook these according to the instructions on the box. You can cook them. Most of the time it's around 10 minutes, and then if you cook them what they call al dente, when you get them right before they're done, go ahead and take them off and drop them in the strainer and run cold water over them because you want to stop that process. You don't want them to continue to cook because they just start to get mushy. So the thing about that is to make sure you watch that time, get them out, blanch them with some cold water, and then unless you're going to use them right then for something, for macaroni and cheese or something would be different. But for this, we didn't want them to continue to cook. So you about ready for some of these, Miss Cleveland?
Go ahead.
All right. Let me see your spoon.
It's going to be a lot.
No, I'm not putting it all. I'm not putting it all. I'm
always thinking ahead.
I just always cook the box. Mix that in, and we'll see where you at.
I think some of that onion got in my eye.
Go ahead and bring that down to a low heat.
Kind of like a slow fade.
I like it. I like it. It looks good. It's already looking good. I mean, I could eat it just like that. You wouldn't have to do much else to it. So while you're stirring, you know me, I'm all about the black pepper. Just keep on stirring. I'm gonna try not to get this in your nose.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's like the Creole though. If you ain't sneezing, you ain't seasoning. So just mix it on in there good. And this is where you would want to adjust. Like with the ketchup, if you wanted just a little bit more creamy texture, you could add a little squirt or two.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, you could. You could add a little bit more, and I think you might need
I think so too.
just a little bit more once you fold that in. You only put you another little.
Yep.
So what you want to do is if you do this, watch this. If you do that a little bit more, then we don't want to offset it too much. So let's put a little bit more of this too. Just a little. I mean, what I'm saying, not much, but we just want to put a few drops because this is what gives it that bite, that mustard. So we just want to just keep folding that in, and then we're gonna get ready to top this with some cheese. And if I can find some bacon laying around, we'll put some bacon. And like I said, that's very optional. You could fry up some bacon. You could chop it up and put it on top of this and put cheese and bacon. Sky's the limit. You could add anything you got in the refrigerator to the top of this if you like it.
This is one of those have it your way dishes.
Yeah. Yep. It's have it your way. Okay. Now.
My way.
This is my favorite part right here. It's why I get to start adding all that good cheese. And as I walk back here to the sink, I'm reminded, I give you another good tip. When you're cooking, we always keep warm soapy water back there in that sink. Go ahead and keep it that way. When you're getting done with things, you can keep dropping and washing. And by the time you get done cooking, a lot of times all the dishes is clean.
I got a tip.
What's your tip?
Don't wear big sleeves when you cook it.
I told you. I told you. All right, let's go ahead and kind of flatten that out. And we're gonna top it. It's mixed in. That looks really good.
Yep.
We're gonna top this with some cheese. And we're gonna drop this thing in a 400-degree oven just for maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes. So I might not even take them, but what we wanna do is melt this cheese good. Gotta do a little bit more, look at there. I had about 4 cups in here. I think the recipe called for 3. I had about 4. So look at that.
You always overdo it.
I love cheese though.
Always.
You can't put too much cheese, Miss Cleveland. So here's what we're getting ready to do. We're gonna drop this in here.
Burn, don't let it burn.
instead of cutting it on, I cut it off. And so we'll let that go for a little bit and melt that cheese.
Yep.
And really, you could almost even broil that if you was in a big hurry.
Yeah.
You could broil that. So, you know, it's just according to what you know, if you want it.
Quick.
Yeah, I guess it's if you want a crust on your cheese or whatever. I was trying to spit it out, but yeah, you can make that come together as quick as you want it to.
Yeah. Well, we're about to go to a break.
We got just a couple minutes. We can talk just for a couple minutes.
I was going to say.
We're caught up right now.
Huh?
I said we're caught up, so we got a minute. We can actually
This is a really easy dish. It might look like, you know.
Well, a lot of times, you know, it can be intimidating.
It really is easy, and it's good. Like I said, I always like to cook things that people that have kids will eat.
Yeah.
So I think they would really like this dish.
Well, like we've always told you, this show is all about simplifying recipes and making things that's easy. I like to say, you know, like stuff that ordinary people just like us, and I know everybody, I don't want to categorize, you know, put anybody in the category or whatever, but, you know, people that work for a living come home, they want something quick that they can put in front of their family. And I like these simple, easy recipes. Now, we take it over the top sometime. We'll do some stuff, and we take your request. If you'll tell us what you want us to cook, we'll cook it. Or we'll attempt to cook it. Because I tell you, I'm not a chef. I'm not a chef. People say, well, I'm not a chef. I just love to cook. Yeah. And we'll attempt it, and we love trying and figuring out recipes. But the main thing is to take the mystery out of it, because a lot of people don't think that they can cook these recipes. They don't think that they could come home and put together a homemade dish like this, and you can do it very simple with the things that you already, your cupboard already has these, I guarantee you, these ingredients in there. You might have to pick up a pack of hamburger meat or an onion or a bell pepper, but other than that, we all got ketchup, mustard, and a little bit of this and that. Like I said,
it's something that you can eat on probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you could eat.
According to how many kids you have.
You could bake up some good garlic bread
and a salad.
You know, I was thinking about the other day, a sloppy Joe grilled cheese. I almost done that. You know, a homemade sloppy Joe.
That made me think about that.
And it's similar to this.
Sloppy Joe grilled cheese.
It's a similar thing. I was thinking about it the other day. I seen somebody putting garlic butter on a big old piece of French toast. I'm always looking at stuff online, but I saw them making that garlic. And, you know, I got to thinking about a grilled cheese. And then I got to thinking about this, and I got to think about an old-fashioned homemade sloppy Joe, you know, / whatever. I said, man, think about that. Just smash that in there and grill that thing on both sides, and it would be
messy.
I felt something right there, too.
Messy.
I felt something on that right there. It'd be really good. But I'm glad. I'm glad this dish is coming together, and we're gonna keep monitoring that and let that cheese melt good.
Yep.
And I think we're gonna be in the game here in just a few minutes.
Yep. So
I was going to ask you about one more thing. You know what? I don't know what you'd want to pair with this. I was thinking about that. I was looking at it. I said, you know, you could
garlic bread.
Yeah, we'll do some garlic bread with it. Yep.
So
I like
anyway, we're about to go to break, and we're going to come back and see how this dish looks and tastes.
It's going to be good.
If you have any requests, comments, recipes that you would like to share with us, frankie393@gmail.com.
You send it up, we'll cook it up. I tell you that.
Or just call us and say, hey, we're approachable.
That's right. You better believe we are. We are. Where I come from, there's cornbread and chicken.
But in the meantime, we're going to a break, and so hang on. We'll be right back.
Yep, come back for the tip of the day and the verse of the day. Yep, Miss Cleveland got it. She got it today.
Okay, welcome back. We're going to see what this dish looks like, but first of all, let me give you your tip of the day. Very easy, and we're always talking about adding salt or not adding salt. If you cook a pot full of soup and it's very salty, do you know what you can do?
You told me before, I can't remember.
Cut up a raw potato.
Raw potato, yep.
And put it in there, and it will draw the salt out of it. So that's a great tip.
That's really why you got to be real generous with that salt.
That's exactly right.
It's very easy to put it in on the front end and over season, I guess. But yeah, that's a great tip.
That's your tip of the day.
Because there's been times I noticed people say, "Ooh, I put too much salt in it."
Yep. So now we're gonna. I want to give you a verse of the day. Your verse of the day is very easy. It's probably something that everybody knows. I would hope, maybe not, I don't know. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And I wish, there's so many people out there that think that they're not worthy or they can't do anything, but you are a whosoever. I was a whosoever. God loves you, and He's willing to come to you anytime you ask Him to. So
that's right. The Scripture.
Put that thought in your mind.
Scripture plainly says in the book of Romans that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Yep.
And that's what I like to tell them. They ask, well, who are you? What are you? I said, I'm a whosoever.
That's right. We're all whosoever.
That's right. We're a follower of Christ. But,
all right.
But I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. So you ready to see this dish?
Yeah, I'm ready to see.
All right, let's grab it. Let's get it out right quick. We got the cheese melted. We got it ready. I wanted to find some bacon to throw on top of it, but I couldn't find it. I thought I had cut some up. There it is. There it is, Miss Cleveland.
That is your homemade hamburger helper in a skillet. Baked homemade helper.
That's right.
In a skillet.
In a skillet. Look here, I'm not even going to try to get it out because you might want to let this rest a few minutes, but I'm going to cut into that just so you can see. So that's just a bunch of ooey gooey goodness right there. So.
Yep. So you can imagine having that on a plate with a piece of garlic bread, maybe a little salad to the side. That would be delicious.
Join us next time right here on the Master's Table. Good day and God bless.